as we have a special guest on the show. Please welcome Ra, vocalist and bassist with Of Shadows. Welcome to the show, Ra.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. So can we start by going back in time? Before you got into playing in a band, can we talk about what bands you were listening to at the time and who have been your greatest influences?
I started my interest in music started when I was fairly young. My dad was a musician, and he listened a lot to Queen and old man rock, and of course, young angry Ra wanted to play faster and louder and found his way into the punk rock scene.
Yeah.
And in the early to mid 90s, I found extreme metal, and from there it has just snowballed on and become what it is today.
Okay, cool. Any major influences from those? Anyone that you find yourself playing their riffs or?
From the early extreme metal days, it's definitely Enslaved. Frost album. Was one of my first
classic
black metal albums, and I thought the raw sound of the kind of thin guitars was really and it's something that goes through. If I look at my playlist today, I can say, oh, that's something in the sound that triggers me. I don't know what it is, but I think it sounds great.
Yeah. That's always something I always play in the show. You've got to include the classics because they've been such an inspiration to everyone, and they're never to be forgotten. Never. So 1997 saw the formation of Stickmore with a demo at the Gates of Hell released that year. Then nothing happened until the summer of 2006, returning with a new lineup and a new demo. So can you talk about those early experiences in the band?
It was chaos, lots of band members coming and going, and it was just me and the vocalist of Stickmore that was the core. And it was actually, I misheard him. He was going to play bass in another band that was called Mystic Moon. And I misheard him when he called me and was excited about his new gig. And I said, "Oh, cool. Are you playing in a band called Stickmore?" And he said, "No, I ain't, but we are going to start that band." And so we did.
So 2003 saw the formation of black death metal band Slaughter Cult, with 3 demos being released from 2004 to 2006. Your role here was as the vocalist. So again, can you talk about your time with Slaughter Cult?
It was a progression from Stickmore, more or less. It was, as I said, the Stickmore was a lot of members coming and going, and we were searching for a new guitarist. And found a brilliant guy named Jonas Larsson. But he didn't want to play in stick mode. He thought that stick mode, that wasn't fun. So we started Slaughter Cult instead.
Okay.
And initially I played bass, but we picked up another brilliant musician that played bass for Slaughter Cult. So I started to sing alongside the vocalist from the original Stickmore's lineup.
Okay, cool. So 2007 saw the formation of Waning, bringing 2 other members from Slaughter Cult. Here things seem to stabilize for you, releasing a demo, 2 full-length albums, 2 EPs, and a split in the span of 8 years. Can you talk about your time spent with Waning?
Yeah, as you said, it more stabilized band, less band changing band members back and forth, and overall better environment for creating, and are the foundation to the current lineup. I don't know what to say about the things that were done. It started out. The first album was really, really great, and it felt really good. It was fun to work on, and then me and the drummer got more interested in post-rock and progressive metal, and that kind of ruined the second album and the upcoming EPs a lot, because it didn't sit right with in the concept.
Yeah, I understand.
And it was partly that, and partly the changing of the vocalist and the drummer that triggered the name changing into Of Shadows.
So before you went into Of Shadows, 2014 saw you moving into an atmospheric black metal style with a black drop effect, releasing one album, Injecting Pain. So can you talk a little bit about that?
That was a little fun project. It was well, no one knew beforehand what was going to happen. So I just got a call from the guitarist who said, "Do you want to come and sing on this?" And I didn't have anything else to do, so I said, "Yes, I can do this." So I got one listen. I got to listen to the songs once before writing all. We co-wrote the lyrics, and then we hit record.
Excellent.
So so it's pretty much one take record all the way through.
Have you seen the comment on Bandcamp for one of your tracks?
Nope.
Oh. Well, it was one of the albums that you actually have a Bandcamp link on Metal Archives to. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go check this out. And the first comment, I'm not going to go through what the guy said, but because of his comment, it made me want to listen to the track. So I go check it out. But I love the track too. I can't remember what the track was called. It was a long one. It's like 14 minutes.
Oh, I don't really remember that much.
You don't remember? Okay.
It was I listened to the album when it was finished, but
you haven't gone back.
I haven't gone back.
Now Bandcamp and see what someone said. So, and that was their favorite track. So of course,
is it the track with the falsetto screaming in it?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It was one of the last tracks recorded that day. And it was my voice actually gave up after that one.
Oh no. So now we get into the crux of it all. You know, as 2016 saw the formation with all members of Waning and Of Shadows. An EP was released that year, with an album following in 2018 with your very first signing with Black Market Metal label. And now 2 years later with Hypnotic Dirge Records. Can we first talk about your signing with Hypnotic Dirge? Were you approached by them, or was this something you were actively seeking?
I wasn't really involved in that one. So, but of what I understand, we have some tie-ins to that label already. They have released Obitus.
Oh, yes.
Earlier, and our guitarist is a member of Obitus. So he wasn't totally unaware of our existence. So I guess that that helped us to get signed. But nevertheless, it's a really good label. They have been doing a really great work with our release, so I have nothing but praise to say about Nick.
Excellent. Yeah, indeed. And I would not have heard, and maybe many more, without their promotions going on for your new release, upcoming release.
Yeah, he has done a stellar job.
Indeed. So let's now talk about the album called In the Devil's Image, which will be released by Hypnotic Dirge Records, as we said, on August the 14th in CD and digital format. I'm going to quote from the album notes. This new offering presents Of Shadows at an unprecedented ferocity and forward momentum, and apparently very intent on proving that to their listeners immediately, as pummeling drums and a heavy galloping riff fill the speakers within seconds of the opening track, The Fire That Consumes and Distorts. Very apt words indeed. And to me, this album has culminated through all those years of experience with your previous bands, and the fact that you've been with the same musicians, growing and gaining your skills and creativeness together. So how do you feel about your work and the upcoming release?
It feels great.
Awesome.
I could have done more, to be honest. So, but you should always be, as a creator, I think you should always be wanting to do better and see the flaws that you have made so you can improve. Otherwise, you just do the same over and over and over, and it will
stalemate.
Yeah, and that's no fun for no one. So I think it's healthy that I feel that I could have done better, and create some kind of hunger to do it all over again.
Indeed. So, yeah, I mean, again, another question, how do you see the future? I mean, you're obviously in that creative mode. This is not going to stop here, I can see. There'll be more things coming up in the near future, no doubt.
Yeah, I think all of us have new ideas to explore, and hopefully we don't clash too much. So
well, you've stuck together so long, so there's some kind of magic going on in the band, because this album is amazing, and it deserves a place in every black metal fan's collection for sure. So your explanation of the band stated that Of Shadows is about exploring and embracing the dark aspects that dwell within us all. Your shadow self, as Carl Jung expressed it, and that your vision is to create an atmospheric black metal guided by chaos and darkness, which I think you've recreated very well. So tell us who is responsible in the band for the lyrics, or is it done as a collective?
I am mostly responsible for the lyrics. The other members have a final say in it. When I have written a piece of lyric, and before we hit record, it's always good to have the confirmation of the other members, so I don't run too far from the beaten path. But for the most time, I have pretty free. I'm pretty free to do as I choose with the lyrical concept.
Awesome. Very influenced by Carl Jung. I can see by looking at some of the English translations of the lyrics. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, this recording though has it has a slight shift in it. Gone from the dream state and lucid dreams into more of a demonic and demonology theme. So we have to see if we stay with the demons for for the future, or if we take a step back and go back to the lucid dreams again.
Whatever your creative side decides at the time, that's going to be the flow for sure. So can you tell us now about your bass guitar and what you used on the album, and all the instruments that you have and any other equipment that you use?
I use short scale Gretsch on this recording. A really neat little bass, and I like the sound of it. And I use this mic that I'm speaking in right now for the recording of the vocals. It's a Shure 7B.
Awesome.
And my iMac that's not in this apartment that I am currently. I'm not at home. I'm on vacation. That's my little recording rig that I.
Well, your bass sounds awesome.
And the vocals are recorded in our rehearsal studio actually. Because I live in an apartment, so the neighbors aren't overly pleased with people screaming in the middle of the night.
I can imagine. Neither would I be, as much as I love black metal. No. So, how can our listeners, keep up to date with what's going on with Of Shadows? Can you tell us about your social media pages, and where can they purchase the new album and any merch that you have?
They'll find merch and the other records, the previous records, on Bandcamp. Or then they can find us at Facebook and I think Facebook and Instagram, and that's about it.
Okay, cool. That's the top media pages for sure.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that you'd like to add that we haven't covered here?
That's the toughest question of today.
Because you got to think for yourself now.
Yeah, that's hard.
Put you on the spot. If there's nothing to say, that's no problem.
I draw blank. Damn.
That's okay. We've covered a lot. We've gone through the whole history. What were your influences? And we've talked about the new album. So, okay, we're going to wind this up. Ra, thank you so much for your time and this opportunity to chat with us today. And I wish you all the very best with the upcoming release, and stay safe.
Thank you. The same to you.
Thank you.